Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Patch Notes 3.0. If you're a brand new listener, welcome to Patch Notes 3.0. This is the podcast where the topics are random, the arguments are chaotic, and somehow the points still matter. I'll be your host this week, Robert. But before we get into the main episode, where we start off our podcast with small talk, so I just want to catch up a bit with the boys because the world's been throwing headlines like it's trying to win a trivia round. So, lads, who wants to start us off with small talk today?
I guess
I
I
have
can
a
go
lot of stuff
first.
to get to, so
You do?
would you mind
Perfect.
going first, Miguel?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
Actually, no,
Uh,
would you mind going first? I feel like mine will lead into other stuff.
I
oh,
see.
okay. Yeah, no, I don't mind. So pretty big week for me, personally. I took my NBCOT exam this week, and it was stressful. Probably one of the most stressful things I've ever done. If you're a listener of the podcast, you know I've talked about it, or we've talked about it, like in the month and a half leading up to it. Felt pretty good about it, and then the day before, just the nerves got me. The anxiety hit. It was tough. Like I woke up in the middle of the night sweating profusely. It was bad. I had a pain in my neck the day before. The night where I had like the sweat, like the sweats basically. I had a huge headache, and I never get headaches. Like never ever get them. So I was like, this is just the anxiety. I woke up like 4 hours before I needed to wake up. So and then I was able to luckily get some sleep, took the exam, and it was rough. This is maybe not a knock on the service I was using, but there's like different providers of information, like study guides, things like that. Uh, Different companies have like their ways of exam preparation. So I've just been using the one that I had been using. Uh, did the whole course, felt pretty confident with it. Opened up for the first question. I was like, well, it's going to be a long day.
Oh, man.
I maybe knew about 40-30% of the exam was new information that I had never seen, which I'm sure they make it like that on purpose. I think they try to trip you up with that. Um, but it was an interesting thing. I mean, of course, I did my best. They give you 4 hours to take it. I took every last second of that. Went through every question thoroughly, the best I could, and uh, left that exam not knowing how I did. It was just kind of one of those exams where pray for the best or prepare for the worst. I think that's the saying. Um, yeah, I took it with a really close friend of mine, Alan. If you're listening, love you. Um, it was nice. I went to Denny's after just to kind of get just our bearings, kind of just debrief, get our nerves under control. He had a pretty similar experience the night leading up to it. So we went to war with it. I'll be getting my results in 3 days actually. So maybe by the next time we record a podcast, it'll either be really great news or not so great news. But either way, something needs to get done, for me professionally. This was just my first attempt at it. So yeah, that was kind of like the my week, and then the days after, I've just kind of been trying to relax, calm the nerves. Every day I think about it. I
Yeah.
told my fiance, I'm like, I just can't stop thinking about her, the exam. And she's just like, "You're okay, we're okay." But yeah, today was a good day for getting distracted, I guess you can say, because it's
Nice.
Sunday. Football's always on. I love it. Patriots, another great win. Some things I kind of wanted to bring up. I called for 10 games. I massively undershot that. We're going 15-2. We're just gonna dominate, roll the rest of the
15
league.
and 2. That's pretty
I'm kidding. I'm
ballsy.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, it's been good. We have the longest win streak in the NFL. We're tied with it. 4 wins in a row. It's been good, and it was cool listening to Red Zone with John Hansen, the GOAT commentator. Honestly, he was saying that even in the 20 years of Belichick and Tom Brady's like run, they've never won three road games in a row, like consecutive road games in a row. It's very nitpicky stat because it's like your your schedule has to have three road games in a row, so the chances of that
That's
happening are rare.
true.
So it's a very nitpicky stat, but they've never done it before. And then Drake May, 6 games in a row with a 100+ passer rating. So he's been awesome. And he also made Patriot history this game too. He threw for 90% completion rate. Tom Brady's never done that. I'm not saying he's the next GOAT, but the future's bright. I'm really happy we found our guy. He got hit pretty hard. He went out with the game for like a couple plays. And I was like, I told Ruby, I'm like, fuck, don't tell me this can't be happening right now. He came back, he went to the medical tent, came back, and it was just funny because like it was in Tennessee, Pittsburgh. The Patriots played the Titans, and you can hear the crowd like through the TV like cheering as he ran onto the thing, and every Patriot fan was on their feet clapping because like everybody knows that he's our future. So it's been cool. And as of right last time I looked at it, the Giants sold my parlay. I bet on the Broncos. Giants and Cam Scatterboo are going off. So a little bummed out about that. Winning in most of my leagues. Robert and I are actually facing off this week in our
Yeah.
fantasy league. So it's been good. I think I'm projected to win, but I know Robert's team's been cooking too.
Yeah.
So it might come down to the wire. You honestly never know. So yeah, sports have been good. Been watching a lot of live streams of the new Pokemon game that came out. Um, Pokemon Za, as people are calling it.
It's funny. Why is it called Zaw? Like the first time I saw them, like,
It's Z to A. It's like the new
oh,
like
okay.
generation of it,
I
like the
see.
new like game title for it. Looks really fun. I have a Switch, but I don't have a Switch 2. But you can play it on the Switch. Um, but it looks like a lot of fun. There's a lot of new Mega Evolutions. Some of them are better than others. I know the Starmie um, Mega Evolution is like taking the what is it? And crowned in infamy right now because you guys know Starmie. It's like that star-shaped
The
Pokemon.
star. Is that the one that Misty has?
Yes, yeah. So it's that one. But like usually with like Mega Evolutions, they give them like a new cool design, things like that. They make them look epic. But what they did with Starmie is they just gave him longer legs, and that's it. so so he looks like Patrick Star, but like just gross.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. But the
I
game looks
imagine
cool.
when you tell me he has long legs, I imagine it looks like Deoxys. Or is that the
Or it's more like you guys like seen that SpongeBob thing where like Patrick has like the fishnets?
yeah,
That's how he looks.
yeah.
Which is pretty funny. So yeah, I've just been watching a lot of that, just trying to pass my day. Just been playing a lot of games and stuff, been playing Madden, a lot of Fortnite, Baldur's Gate, got back on that. So it's
Nice.
been good. Just been playing that, watching Breaking Bad. Really just coasting this week. So
How are you
it's been
liking
good. Pretty boring.
Breaking Bad? I know you said you had never seen it.
I have seen it before.
Oh, you have?
I haven't seen Better Call Saul.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's good. Really good. I mean, I'm still in season 3. Usually it's like an episode or 2 a day. I've never been the kind of person that just like goes through something. Yeah, that's just not me. Like after an hour or 2, I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to go do something else. My ADHD kicks in. But yeah,
Nice.
no, it's been good. Just been chilling. What about you guys?
And I'm over here having technical difficulties with my camera. I keep like disappearing in and out, like phasing.
No,
It's
I was
weird.
gonna say like you're next to bring up your talking points. I know you had a lot of them.
I know. Like Miguel said though, um, there are a lot of talking points to bring up this week. Um, little sneak peek was given to Robert and Miguel of what I want to talk about. Just give me a quick second. Like I was saying,
That was
there's
quick.
quite a good amount of stuff I want to talk about. I guess we'll start off. First of all, obviously, weekly reading recap. I actually didn't read anything this week. Also just studying for the exam as well, just like Miguel. And well, not like Miguel anymore, like Robert. I mean, I played a couple league games, not that many. What else? I think that's it. I mean, basically, it's the same. You know what I mean?
But you
Just
said a lot of talking
study.
points.
Yeah.
No, but this is before my talking
Yeah,
points.
Oh,
This is
okay,
like
okay, okay.
This is
the
the
precursor before I
This
get into
is
the juicy stuff.
this is
Yeah.
about you, like
Yeah.
yourself right now. Okay, I
He's
see.
gonna share
Yeah,
that.
this is just me before I get to the good stuff.
Okay, okay.
Like I said, just the same as the past. I don't even know how many weeks, just studying, and either like on my free time, I'm either reading something or playing League or like watching something. Watch some more couple episodes of Lost. Like I said, I'll probably actually read some chapters this week. I don't know of what though. So I guess I'll decide. And besides that, to go into the first topic, I just want to talk a little bit about music because, like I said last week,
Oh, that's right.
I started listening to a bunch of stuff. Before even last week, I like to listen to a lot of music across a lot of genres. But these past 2 weeks, I kind of like really got into the midst of it, really got deep into it. So I wanted to kind of give everybody my albums that I give a 10 out of 10.
Mm.
Now, like I said, I've listened to a lot of music, a lot of albums. So right now I have about 9 exactly that I give a 10 out of 10. Now, before I give you the list, I want to give you some honorable mentions that, in my opinion, barely didn't make it. So these would be like, I guess, nines. Know what I mean? Like close tens. So, for example, "Good Kid, Mad City," Kendrick Lamar.
That didn't get a 10?
"Kill 'Em All." It did not. I got a 9.
Wow.
"Kill
Interesting.
'Em All" by Metallica. Also, I was like considering it. It was close. Give it a 9. "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. Another one, "Yeezus" by Kanye. That one was very close. I think that was the closest one out of everything.
Mhm.
And then "In the Court of the Crimson King" by King Crimson. It's kind of like a progressive rock instrumental album. Great stuff. But yeah, those are the ones that didn't make it. They were close. I thought about it. I gave them like a re-listen before I really finally decided, but they didn't make it to my tens. Now, for my tens, I kind of go through each one and then I do like a quick recap of everything, just listing them. But the first 3 tens I have are by the same band, by Led Zeppelin. So it's Led Zeppelin 1,
Mm.
Led Zeppelin 2, and Led Zeppelin 4, because they're self-titled albums.
Mhm.
So yeah, I listened to um the first 4 to the what's it called? Physical Graffiti and the other one, and one more album. And out of those, I was like, wow, I think I'm gonna give 3 other albums a 10 out of 10, which I think is insane
It
for any
is.
one band or artist. But yeah, some of my favorite songs of all time are on those albums. Obviously, it's my favorite, well, I guess my second favorite band next to Coldplay, which is What's Next. So there was one Coldplay album, which is my favorite musical artists,
Mhm.
which is a Rush of Blood to the Head.
It's a good album.
Um, yeah, it's my favorite from them. X and Y was also close. I'd also give that a 9. I was thinking about it, but I was like, oh, it barely misses out because it had like 2 weak songs. Another 10, Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Amazing. I mean, Black Sabbath is my second, or I guess third favorite band of all time. So Coldplay, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. Usually
Mhm.
that's how it's ordered for me. Again, I mean, most of their most popular songs are on that album. Even they have like one instrumental song. It's amazing. Um, Mad Villainy by MF Doom. I know Miguel knows about MF Doom. I don't know about Robert.
That's valid.
He's kind of known as your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. I mean, he has like insane like lyricism, wordplay. His flow is very unique. He's definitely not somebody you can like listen and like automatically or instantly enjoy. You kind of
Mhm.
have to get used to his style. But once
Mhm.
you
Okay.
do and you buy in, like you get it. And then Astroworld by Travis Scott. Travis Scott is my favorite rapper or hip hop artist. I remember when Astroworld came out, I think I was still in high school or maybe barely graduated recently. I can't remember. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I would listen to it for this. It's still crazy. I think there's only like one song that I don't think is amazing. Everything else I think is just an amazing song. Absolute bangers. So Pimple Butterfly by Kendrick, another 10. And personally, I think it's my just favorite album of all time, period.
Wow.
Um, it's close. I think it's I'd have to think of what else comes close, but for now, I think To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite album of all time. And then I have the artist I talked about last week, the Icelandic like experimental pop artist chick, Bjork. I have her album. It's called Vespertine. Again, absolutely crazy, amazing album. She's like very creative with her music. Her vocals are great, everything. And then actually, now that I'm talking about this, I just remembered there's another 10 out of 10 album recently. This one's crazy because this
Crazy
album
Frog.
is like, honestly, but this album is like one I would never recommend to anybody. Like, it's experimental hip hop or like industrial hip hop, I guess. It's by a group known as Death Grips, and the album is The Money Store. So I recently found out about them again through Anthony Fantano. They need to drop on YouTube. I listened to them. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, like it's just, it's bad, right? So then I kind of looked into it more and then kind of the way you have to get into it is not a hip hop album, but more like just like bang your head to it, like almost like you're getting into like a heavy metal album. So instead, think of it like that, right? Kind of like the
Hmm.
aggression, kind of like the bopping to it. So once I listened to
Screamo
it with
kind
that
of,
mindset,
or
huh?
like screamo kind, like
No, they don't scream like it's rapping, right? It's
I'm
oh,
hip hop.
okay.
imagining like Suicide Boys.
Yeah, I was imagining like Hollywood Undead.
I
True.
haven't listened to them, so I don't know. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this is like the out of all my tens, this is the one I would least recommend. But yeah, definitely great album. So yeah, those are my 10 out of 10s. And again, to quickly recap them, I already took up enough of everybody's time. I have Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 4. I have A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay. I have Mad Villainy by MF Doom. Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Astroworld by Travis Scott. Vespertine by Bjork. The Money Store by Death Grips. And then To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice. I feel like you're a
Yeah.
little bit more lenient with your grading compared to Miguel. I know me and Miguel listened to some albums together, and I would see him like scoring his music.
Yeah,
So I feel
Yeah,
like
but
I know Miguel, I
the
think his
way we
highest is like a
approached it was
9.8.
different. Yeah,
Yeah,
the way we approached it was different. I
that's
think
true.
the way I was approaching it, I was just kind of going through like random albums, some that I had heard before, but not all the way through. But I was going song by song. And the way even the way I went about it, like I went based like on three categories. I think it was like lyricism, beat, and like vibe. So like what
Hmm.
message is it trying to get across? The vibe was really just like my palate cleanser. Because I tend to go to more I'm very concept heavy. So like
Miguel,
not
I'm gonna
saying
cut
there's
you off really
anything
quick.
wrong.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry. Is my audio okay? Because I had to turn
Yeah, you're
something off.
good.
All right,
like I just don't naturally go for like, people like Travis Scott or Drake or like Cardi B. Like usually it's not my cup of tea. But the vibe thing was kind of like my palate cleanser. I'm like, okay, what are they trying to get across? Are they getting that across? So that was kind of like my thing. But yeah, no, I gave a lot of songs individual tens. But I mean, of course, I don't think there's a perfect album. Like just because there's always like an interlude here or there, or like just something random. Um, but yeah, the way we went about it, but I gave like very high nines, like 9.8s, 9.7s. To Pimp a Butterfly was up there. I had some J. Cole ones up there. I had a Joey Badass one that was up there. Surprisingly,
True.
the Suicide Boys that one that was
Yeah.
up there. Um, but yeah, some Outcast for sure. But
in
yeah,
that case, may
uh-huh.
I propose something to you?
Yeah,
Because I was similar to you. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Kind of like approaching that perfect album, kind of 10 out of 10 idea.
Hmm.
I think that's just impossible to reach.
Yeah, it is.
So anything that's that close, maybe you should just kind of be like, hey, I think it's worth giving it a 10 out of 10 just on, yeah, it's not perfect. But then again, will you ever find a perfect album? I think that was what was holding me back. So I decided to kind of drop that idea. I was like, all right, I
Yeah.
think these are, I can give it 10 out of 10.
The highest one that I ever gave um was, I believe, it just a 9. It was 2014 Forest Hill Drive and Good Kid, Mad City. I think, no, I lie. For Your Eyes Only was the highest, 9.4. Good Kid, Mad City, 2014 Forest Hill Drive. But then again, I haven't really gone into rock as much, so I would be interested in doing that again. I know of Led Zeppelin. I know like they're like bigger songs. Um, but I think it'd be a really cool exercise to kind of go through like an entire album like that. So it might be on my to-do list. But yeah, I just think Serge and I went about it two different ways. But I like your list. I like the MF Doom pick. But I agree with you that like
Sure.
he he's not for everybody. I would say, or like not for every like situation. But like if you're just looking like at articism and like lyricism, it's hard to go. It's hard to get more anywhere else. So that's cool. I appreciate that pick. That's a nice pick. The other ones were good too.
All right. For my next main topic of discussion, this could even be honestly its own episode. That's how interesting it's going to be, you know. But decided to just talk about it right now. Messi versus Ronaldo. As anybody who has listened to the podcast before, I'm the Messi fanboy. Robert's the Ronaldo fanboy, and Miguel's kind of like the outside looking in person, not that knowledgeable, but still knows enough to, I think, come to a decision. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see right now after we discuss a little bit. So the reason I decided to talk about this is because I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw some interesting stats. Because as one of the main things with Ronaldo is obviously he might get to 1,000 goals, which is crazy to think about, right? And that's one of the things that people try to use with him over Messi. But like I said, I was scrolling and I saw this interesting stat that I said, okay, well, let's really compare it, right? Because yeah, Ronaldo has more goals. How many games though? And also, how many assists is the comparison? So first, if we just go like literally as evenly matched as it can be, at 1,000 games, where were they both at? Ronaldo, 725 goals, 216 assists. At 1,000 games as well, Messi, 789 goals, more than Ronaldo, 348 assists, more than 100 assists than Ronaldo. And now keep in mind that Messi is also scoring goals, more goals than Ronaldo, but also putting up insane assist numbers. 100, more than 100 as a difference. Now, if we just go all time, now this is, I think, from August, so it's not, I think it's like a couple months old, but it's as recent as I could find. Now, we just go to like career stats, right? I mean, like I said, Ronaldo's getting close to 1,000. Here I have him at 923, but I think he's already like at the 950s or 940s. He's like at 850 here, but again, these are higher now. Again, Messi's higher in assists. They're about evenly matching free kick goals. Ronaldo has 50 plus goals as penalties. And then now we're going to get into more general statistics, right? So this is, again, just goals and assists. Kind of, I guess you could say, the most fundamental statistic you can have for forwards in soccer. So now let's get into what they've actually won, right? Of course, Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors. He has 6 European Golden Boots versus 4 European Golden Boots with Ronaldo. That's a pretty objective stat. It's not voting, it's just who scored the most goals, right? And again, Ronaldo's considered a better goal scorer, but Messi's beating him in these goals. Messi has more trophies than Ronaldo. Now, that's just overall trophies, doesn't matter what, but if we get into specifics, obviously, Ronaldo has 5 Champions League trophies. Messi only has 4. And Ronaldo also won one with United and then 4 with Real Madrid. So we did it with 2 clubs. I mean, we have more stuff, okay? Like I said, this really includes everything. Yeah. Messi has 10 La Liga titles against Ronaldo's 2 La Liga titles. And they were both in La Liga for a long time. So in terms of who dominated their domestic league, Messi was dominating that. Now, in terms of better Champions League performance, that's where Ronaldo did better, right? He has more Champions League and because he has more Champions League goals. Now, like I said, outside of La Liga specifically now, Ronaldo, he won a Champions League, and I think he won 1 league title with United. I'm not sure if it was more. Actually, he won 3. He won 3 Premier League titles and 1 Champions League. And then he won 1 league title with
Juventus.
I didn't take into consideration the cups because I feel like those are such a more like secondary statistic compared
like
to everything else. Yeah.
League specific.
Yeah.
Or like.
And then outside of La Liga, Messi won 1 league title with Paris Saint-Germain. I didn't take into consideration MLS or the Saudi League because honestly, I think those are retirement leagues. And the only statistic that matters with those is just the goals and assist numbers. If they win titles, if they win like these personal accolades, honestly, don't think it really counts because they're not playing with the best of the best. Only the goals and assists I do take into consideration for both players. Outside of that, I think I've had all the main statistics that I want to talk about. Lastly, international trophies, which I think is what helps Messi take it. Messi has, I believe, 4 international trophies. No, he has 3. If I'm not, the World Cup, obviously, 2 Copa Americas, and then Ronaldo has the 1 Euro, and then if we're gonna give him credit for the Nations League, which is something new, then do we give Messi credit for the Olympics? Because honestly, I feel like they're almost at the same level of competitiveness. So therefore, you can either go 4-2, or you can go 3-1. Now, I've basically given kind of stats. You can get more into specifics, but I've kind of given them like more like, here's what they are. If now you want to break it down, who has more header goals? Obviously Ronaldo. Who has more long range free kick goals? Ronaldo. Who scored the most amazing goals? Ronaldo, right? So that's why I didn't include those. I kind of just went more objective stats that are just, here's what it is. You want to get to more specifics? Then sure. Well, Robert, what do you think? Miguel, what do you think? I think it's pretty clear who I think is a GOAT after this
Well,
conversation.
I feel like if you're using the objective stats, like obviously it's going to put Messi up top because you're using objective stats. Like here it is, that's what it is. But I feel like you have to go a little bit more too, like seeing, like I told you before. I mean, Messi started off his career in Barcelona. Fucking Ronaldo was off in Sporting. So two different leagues. One is like very, like, I mean, Sporting wasn't at their top of the top. So I mean, Messi had Dino and a bunch of other superstars on his team when he started off. So I mean, they were feeding him the ball. He had that sort of assistance, whereas Ronaldo didn't have anybody. The same thing with like the Euro and the Nations League title. Ronaldo had to carry his team to those titles. Messi winning the Copa America, you can't compare, I guess, South American football to European level of football. Like those are Lionel Messi was playing against fucking Chile, Honduras, like all these little countries, bro.
Then you
like
forgot to mention Brazil.
Brazil hasn't been on top of
Very
their game
conveniently
for,
so, if I may
yeah.
add.
I mean, Brazil hasn't been the top of their game for like a while now. Their star players haven't been good in a while. I mean, you can see that with Vinicius Jr. If anything, the ones playing really good right now are Anthony and Rafinha. I'll give it to them too. They're actually playing really good right now for their teams and clubs. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't think you can compare that type of football to European football, where Ronaldo was literally playing against stacked teams, playing against Germany, playing against France, Italy, Spain. These are big nations that have big players in them. I mean,
And I agree with you.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Euros is harder to win, which I think before Messi won the World Cup, it was a closer argument. But obviously, the World Cup has a lot of pull, especially since obviously historically and overall, Argentina has like is just better at soccer, right? But at least during the years that Ronaldo was really contending for a World Cup, Portugal was honestly at the same level as Argentina, right? I think that can, even if you want to say maybe Argentina's a little bit better still, they were very close because Portugal had some insane teams for a couple of years, for two World Cup rotations that I think are Ronaldo had an equal opportunity of winning a World Cup as Messi did. Now, if you put Messi with like Brazil or Spain, yeah, it kind of diminishes the value a little bit because that's like putting Messi into already the two, I guess, greatest nations for soccer would be insane. Or you put him with Germany even. But I feel like since he was with a weaker Argentina in this, I guess, century, and Ronaldo was with a way stronger Portugal than historically, it evens out. Therefore, Messi moves the World Cup. The debate that was around here kind of went around here. It's still close, though. I don't want to diminish Ronaldo. I think he's still easily the second greatest player of all time. And then after that, there's a gap, and then everybody else.
The only reason I don't like when people bring up that World Cup when talking about Ronaldo and Messi is because there's other players that have won a World Cup and they're not even in like this debate. Like Toni Kroos, for example, he has a World Cup, I believe, and he's not in the debate. Kaká, players like that, they're not in this debate, and it's so when they bring up Messi winning the World Cup, I don't know how I feel about that, bringing it into the debate.
Then let me present it like this,
mm-hmm.
Because again, when it comes to the GOAT debate, those little extra things, and the World Cup isn't a little thing, do matter because honestly, you need something to make up the difference when you're getting into the GOAT debate because already these guys are going to have the best stats, the best, like they're going to win everything. They're going to have all the best stats. They're going to have the longevity. So you need those extra things to really determine who's better. Now, when you're going to a lower tier, to everybody who's not in the GOAT debate, then yeah, it's not going to matter as much, but it's going to put them in that next tier.
I guess
so
also
I think it's
too
the same way with
because
kind of LeBron versus Jordan.
Jordan the GOAT. But I guess also too, like Toni Kroos, he's a midfielder, so he's not a forward, so I guess it really wouldn't matter. in that point too. He wasn't out there
That's
scoring a
true.
lot of goals. So I mean, different positions too in soccer. So it's kind of hard to include people who have won like other like a lot of trophies and the World Cup. So I don't know. And
And even
Messi had
then, Iniesta and Xavi are better.
that's why Messi won 8 Ballon d'Ors. I mean, half of them came when he had Xavi and Iniesta spoon feeding him through
Yeah.
balls.
Hey, but
So
Ronaldo spent 1 year at Sporting. The other years, the rest of his career, Man United, the third biggest club in the world at that time, easily, right? It was Barcelona, Real Madrid, United. Those are three biggest clubs in the world by far. The majority of his time with Real Madrid, again, behind Casemiro, Modric, and no, I'm getting confused. And Cruz, yes. There's a pretty insane midfield as well. I mean, don't get it twisted.
yeah, it was.
And if anything, the fact that Messi could start off at Barcelona from the very beginning, if anything, just says that he was just better earlier than Ronaldo, that he was already able to start at the very top and Ronaldo had to build up to it.
Yeah, like they
Both
say. I
are good in
mean,
my opinion because one had to
mhm.
work to get to the top, but one was already good enough to start at the top.
Yeah, it's what I always hear. Like Ronaldo, I mean, Messi, he was born to play soccer. Like he already had that natural talent with him. Whereas Ronaldo, I see it more like a Mamba mentality. He had to work his way through the ranks in order to reach where he's at. I mean, even now he's still breaking records. This past match for Portugal, they played Hungary for the World Cup qualifiers. He ended up scoring 2 goals. So now he's the all-time scoring international footballer, I believe. And I know what was it,
That's just sad. I
yesterday?
forgot to say for Ronaldo, and that is something that also helps him as well.
Yeah, and I believe yesterday too, Al Nassr played. He ended up getting his penalty blocked, but however, he ended up scoring a banger from outside the box. I mean, he's still scoring like insane goals as well. So I don't know. I just think he has longevity when it comes to soccer.
Miguel, go ahead and
yeah,
pitch in. I think you've heard just about everything that's to be said. I
yeah.
guess my closing statement. I guess I'll make a closing statement because we basically got it back into a mini topic. At the end of the day, Mamba mentality, the work you had to put in, doesn't matter when it comes to who was better. Now, if you want to say who had the better work ethic, who grinded harder, Ronaldo. But at the end of the day, who's better? It doesn't really matter what it took to get there. It just matters what was produced.
Yeah, and you guys had alluded to it at the beginning of this section of the podcast. That we kind of had like a sneak peek. Serge kind of sent us a picture. And they both asked me like, hey, do some research. This is like an hour or two before the podcast. Definitely not something you can do in 2 hours. So I just kind of went on YouTube, and as one does, I got lost in Ronaldinho highlights.
My God.
But who's my favorite
So
player
you
of
just
all time?
you didn't even look at the videos. You just started watching
But here's the
highlights for
thing. Here's the
Ronaldinho.
thing. I think I have a take that you guys will both agree with. That Ronaldinho is what Dr. J is for the NBA. And for those of you that may be confused, and it's like, who's Dr. J? I'll go into it a little bit more. He's also Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 to Dragon Ball. That is what
Would you say
Ronaldinho
he's
is.
also the Allen Iverson of the NBA?
Allen Iverson changed the game. And the reason I'll go into that, I have some like talking points, is of course, during that peak, during that time, he kind of like revolutionized what the game was. And the reason he's like Dr. J in that aspect is before everybody shot underhand, everybody like passed the ball 15 times before going for a shot. Dr. J like revolutionized how basketball was seen. He was dunking it, basically from the free throw line, doing all these cool trick shots, bringing like street ball into a professional sport. And I think Ronaldinho did that for football. And it was also like in a time where like there was two leagues. There was the ABA and I think the NBA, and they fused. And so Dr. J was asked to join the NBA because, of course, bigger thing, and it was more exciting, a bigger market. And Dr. J did that. The NBA took off in popularity. And because of that, and because of him inspiring all these people, you had greats like Magic Johnson, Larry
Mhm.
Bird, and of course Jordan, who ushered in a golden age of basketball. Ronaldinho, I would argue, did the same for football, where he was doing things that no one else had seen, not making people doing like these crazy tricks. And Neymar said he's been an inspiration. Messi said he's been an inspiration. That like really kind of ushered in like a golden age, I would say, of football, soccer. Because of course, like I think right now is the best soccer there's ever been. Like people are talking about it and stuff like that. That ushered in like a golden age, I would say, of soccer. Um, and of course, like, you know, his stats are ridiculous. He had like a crazy 3-year run, a Ballon d'Or win, a 2-time FIFA Player of the Year. And you guys had mentioned that Brazil hasn't been good
Cup
for a
winner.
long time, and a World Cup winner. Exactly. You know, Brazil hasn't really been relevant since Ronaldinho was really, really good. Of course, he had Ronaldo on his team too, which helps.
Yeah,
Um,
they had probably the best
yeah,
team ever. Yeah.
and then also another thing too is I was kind of looking into it. Barcelona had been kind of like they kind of lost their muster before Ronaldinho got on the team. I was looking at it. The season he joined, I think, was 2004. He got injured during the first half of the season. They were 12th place. He got right at the end of the season, the latter half. They finished second. All right. And then the year after that, they went, or the 2 years after that, they won the La Liga twice. He won the Ballon d'Or, and he won 2-time FIFA Player of the Year in those 3-year spans. And unanimously the greatest, I would say, undoubtedly the best football player for that streak. And of course, kind of ushered in kind of Messi. Of course, I mean, Messi was going to go off regardless. But kind of just like he revitalized Barcelona, I would say, and brought it back. So those are kind of the talking points that I had, and I thought it was really cool
So
looking at it.
I do enjoy your Ronaldinho talk. I
Mhm.
think he's the most, like you said, like Julius Irving, Alice Iverson,
Mhm.
like the most exciting
Flair, yeah,
soccer player ever. It's only a shame I don't even think he's like a top 7 player all time. Just talking like outside of like the
objectively,
flair. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Maybe even like obviously Messi, Ronaldo, Pelé,
Mhm.
Maradona, Zidane, Cruyff.
Dino,
I
I
always
mean
forget the guy.
Ronaldo. You can even
Ronaldo,
put the
obviously.
other one.
You
yeah.
have the German guy. He's a little bit older. Always forget him. Like he played in the 1900s as well. So that's 8. And even then, I don't know if I put Ronaldinho. So maybe he's like 10.
Yeah. No,
So
and
yeah.
that's 100% fair, which is why I think he is the Dr. J of it. Because I mean, if you ask
Okay.
NBA
Okay.
people, it's like no, Dr. J isn't in anybody's top 10, not even
Or
top
like Allen
15.
Iverson. I feel like Allen Iverson,
Yeah,
since he's more recent,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that one's like, especially if you ask like a lot of newer NBA players,
Hmm.
they're gonna be like, yo, Allen Iverson, obviously. That's like my favorite
Yeah.
player of all time.
Hmm. Yeah, I would make that argument. I think I was also looking at it. I think he's 7th all time in like goal to assist ratio for like a 3-year span. Um, of course, Messi's number 1 on that, Ronaldo's number 2, and then there's
Of
like a couple
course.
players. But I just thought it was cool, and the reason I think he's like Gohan, it's just like a funny
Okay, yeah, I
thing.
want to hear this. Where's this from?
Is what's the worst thing that can happen to like a really good soccer player?
Did you get hurt?
They get
Injury?
drunk, they party, they lose focus, right?
Okay.
The worst thing that could have happened to Gohan as a Z fighter was he opened a goddamn book and he learned. You know, he put down the weights and he picked up the book.
Hey,
And I
that's because
think,
Chi forced them to.
hey, and that's the thing
He
is his
lost all the
culture
drip.
forced him
All that
to.
aura and drip just out the window.
Yeah,
When
and like here's the
what's
thing,
his
it's
hero
like,
name?
wait, who?
What's
Ronaldinho?
his hero name? No, go on.
Oh, the Great Saiyan Man, Great Saiyan Man,
The
something like
Great
that.
Saiyan, yeah.
Man, yeah,
Yeah,
it's rough. It's
and
rough.
so the reason I say it, it's like when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, it's like holy shit, he changed the game. You know, like it's like that we can do that, like we can kick that much ass. Like I feel like it hadn't happened yet. It's kind of like in the NFL when they developed the forward pass. It's like what the fuck, we can do that, and you know
Or like in semi-pro when they
the
make the
alley
alley
oop,
oop.
yeah, which is funny because I think Dr. J was around that time, which is why I'm saying it.
It's
It
perfect.
it just happened that way, and I think, of course, like he developed it, and everybody else kind of caught up and went with it. Because like Gohan doesn't have the same longevity as a Goku, a Vegeta, even a Piccolo. I think he kind of fell off. He lost focus, and you know he picks it up. I would still say he has the skill set, the natural ability to do something like that. But yeah, that's my argument. I think Ronaldinho is the Gohan of football, and he's also Dr. J of football. So that was the kind of things that I was looking at. I thought it was funny. I liked making a comp for
So
it.
now, would you mind answering the question at hand?
Of the Messi versus
Messi versus
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
But
Yeah.
I mean, also too, I mean, Messi stayed at Barcelona for the longest time. Ronaldo got out of his comfort zone of staying with Real Madrid or even Man U. He went off to go to other, he was at the Premier League, La Liga. He went to the Italian league and Saudi league. I mean, he's been proving himself in these different leagues. Messi could not prove himself anywhere else other than being in La Liga with Barca. He flopped in PSG. MLS. I mean, you like Sergio said, you can't really do any stats there because I mean, yeah. When he was there at PSG, who did he have with him? He had Mbappe and he had Neymar. So I mean, those are some two high class players. Like Sergio said, they ended up winning the title, the league title at PSG. But also, PSG was a farmers league back then, so they were playing against teams that weren't even that good or they didn't have that good players. So I mean, I think that was just a given for Messi.
So I guess to what you're getting at, I do agree that Ronaldo has had better longevity, like in the later years. Because like you said with Juventus, even though at the end of the day they both won one league title each. You know what I mean, so I think in terms of the cups, I think Ronaldo won 3 or 2. Messi, I know one for sure won. So even then, the statistics are basically kind of the same. And the World Cup win. Can't forget about that one. But I do agree that Ronaldo has better longevity.
I mean, that's the thing is like I don't think I can give like a valid take. I mean, if anybody asked me off the street, I'd probably just say Messi, just because I feel like that's the answer. Like the universal answer. I think at this point, I think he kind of put it to rest in the popular mindset of some people. But I think there's definitely going to be a debate. I think it's going to be just kind of like a Jordan LeBron thing where like you really can't differentiate it. Like if you look at individual stats here, then you're missing out on like how they played the game or things like that. It really just comes down to it. And of course, like there's different leagues, there's different eras, there's different circumstances. Some have teammates that are really good for this team, and that's what led to their success because obviously it's a team sport at the end of the day. So I think it's one of those conversations. But for me, I would probably say Messi. Um, even
but is
though
that because everybody's telling you to pick Messi?
I mean,
Like, is that an influence from like outer, just outer influences?
I feel like it's interesting. I feel like I'm also like I also like the good guy winning. And I feel like every time I've
Also,
seen
aren't you a Real Madrid fan?
I am like very soft, like very like soft, like very recently I took like an ancestry test and like I'm like 50% from Spain. That's the only reason. And it's like
So that was all you
Madrid.
needed.
Yeah, so it was either them. I know there's 2 teams in Madrid
It's
and Real Madrid.
Atletico
It's
de
Atletico.
Madrid. Yeah,
Yeah,
Atletico.
I don't know anything about them. So those plebs. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, I think naturally. Well, recently I'll go for Real Madrid. But I mean, I think if someone just asked me, I'd probably just go with Messi. Um, yeah, that's the thing. That's my take on it. But I should be taken with a grain of salt, just like that Ronaldinho take.
That'll be
Obviously,
taken as the official stance Patch
of
Notes
the
3.0
Duran
podcast
household.
as helmed by Miguel is that Messi's better than Ronaldo. You heard it here from Miguel's own mouth.
But
Yeah.
I mean, also that must also be taken with a grain of salt, just because Miguel also didn't really follow soccer like how you and I follow soccer.
Mhm.
Not at all.
So
Not
Yeah,
even
no,
close.
definitely not.
so just that should be taken with just like a grain of salt.
But
I think that's
also, it
also
should be
why I
taken as
found
but this should also be taken as the official stance of the podcast.
yeah, I think that's also why I had a lot of fun coming up with the comps. Just because like I'm like, how do I phrase this in my head? I'm like, I know NBA
It's like
history.
put it in NBA terms.
Put
I
it in
mean,
anime
literally,
terms for the people that are
literally.
listening that are anime
There you
heads.
go.
You
Yeah, but
you just
anime
gotta
terms,
find
NBA
it.
terms, football
Yeah,
terms.
yeah. I love doing that, but it's good.
Put it in WWE terms.
You gotta put it in
WWE.
terms that some of the ladies will understand, Miguel.
See, I wouldn't even know. I have to call Ruby.
I know.
It's usually pretty funny. Like what was I doing? I was explaining fantasy football to her, but I was using it in the terms of like K-pop, and I got it to work, and she understood it. She's like, "That's pretty cool." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool."
It's hilarious.
But yeah, it's good. And at the end of the day, it's sports. Uh, yeah, I like the niche players more. Like Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. Even though like he's maybe number 3 at his position, number 2. Um, I mean, I guess you can say Kobe's better, but it is what it is.
Serge doesn't think that. Serge isn't a Kobe fan.
I mean, I do think Kobe's better though, even though I'm not really a big fan of Kobe.
Why is that? You just don't.
I don't know. I mean,
He
I
just
never
didn't
liked the
call your
Lakers. I
name.
only like them because LeBron's there. As soon as LeBron leaves, like I'm not a Laker fan anymore. I think if anything, is more because yeah, like literally as soon as he's gone, like that was the end of my Lakers fan era. Um, but for the Kobe thing, like again, it's like the mama mentality when people try to use dad in terms of like putting him against higher than other players. It's like how why does your work ethic and your attitude actually matter equally as performance statistics what you actually produced? I
Kind of like
mean,
the Ronaldo
if you
Messi
want to talk about
stuff.
in terms of like, yeah, if you want to talk about like influential, like influence, like against like that aura, like thing that people say, then yeah, Kobe's at the top. But in terms of again, like I don't think his Mamba mentality or like Ronaldo's work ethic should be equally held as what was actually produced on the court.
But I think
That's
it does play a
I think a
role in
reason for
it,
me.
though. I guess I would say that it does kind of play a role, but
I
it's
would
not
agree too,
something
Robert.
to like just focus on solely just like the worth ethic.
Yeah.
But I do believe
But
that
then
it
again,
does.
that work ethic, Mamba mentality, what does it contribute to? What did they produce? Which is again why it all comes down to what was actually produced at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
why
think.
also a thing.
Oh yeah, I think a big reason for it too. It's like the first one in, last one out. Like Ronaldo, from what I've seen, like he's not really much of like a talker. I don't think Kobe was either. Like they were like respected in their thing because they were one of the best players in the league, and like they had that work ethic that everybody saw. It's like, oh shit, like he's at the gym like at 4 o'clock in the morning, like he's the last one to leave. Like I think that for people who are like his contemporaries, I think that does a lot to like enhance kind of like the myth of it. It's like, hey, if this guy's out here busting his ass, if I want to be on that level, which is one of the best players in the world, like I have to aspire to be that. And it kind of like puts some accountability on a team. Because it's like if the best player is out here working his ass off, then if I'm like a practice squad guy, I should be working just as hard as that. And I think it goes a long way in doing that. Like you lead by example that way. At least that's the way I saw it with Kobe. Of course, I wouldn't really know if Ronaldo's the kind of the same way, but I think it speaks volumes to like they they treat it as a professional would. You know, like they take it very seriously. Like they love and they respect the craft of it, and I like that. You know, I like it when athletes can be like, you know what, it's time to go to work. I'm gonna strive for that next step and like do their best to achieve it. Cause I mean, Ronaldo, if at worst case is number 2, which is not a bad place to be. Like I think soccer is like one of those sports where like it's international. So there's been way more soccer players than football, like NFL football, basketball players. Like it's very small sample sizes. So like to be considered the second best to ever do it at minimum, like you got to be doing something right.
It's
Especially if it
true.
wasn't born with like those kind of gifts, natural gifts, as you would say Messi is. Not to say which was better, but I think it kind of adds to it. It's like that underdog kind of thing. Like I worked for it. I'm here because I put myself here. So I respect that. But to say it's the end all be all and like if it should make him the greatest, maybe not. But I think it helps. You know, I don't think it should diminish or take away. That's just my
Yeah,
stance
it
on it.
definitely doesn't diminish or take away.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a non-factor in terms of determining who's better. But I don't think it takes away or diminishes for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Serge, if you take away trophies aside from Ronaldo and Messi, do you still think Messi is the better soccer player?
This player,
Just
I
player.
think the
Looking at
conversation
them,
even gets more lopsided for me. I like I think I think it's closer when you take into consideration accolades. If you take them away and just look at the player, I actually think it becomes even more Messi's favor, given his ability to also play make. he's keeping up with Ronaldo, the highest goal scorer of all time, while also being one of the best dribblers, passers, playmakers of all time. Know what I mean? Just a tier below the Modric, the Cruces, the Iniestas, and the Xavis, and the Zidanes, like below them. Next tier. But in terms of like goal scoring, he's at the top of the tier with Ronaldo, the other Ronaldo, kind of like that. But you can't say the same for Cristiano Ronaldo. He doesn't fall kind of into the second next tier for like assists, playmaking, maybe falls a tier below that. But then Messi, he's like in those 1, 2. But then obviously again, in terms of which dribbling looks like the best, even then I feel like I'm kind of diminishing Cristiano Ronaldo. But no, like he's an amazing dribbler. I just think Messi's a more efficient dribbler. Kind of that's the way I kind of see it.
Because I feel Messi, he's a magnet with the ball. The ball stays close to his feet, whereas Ronaldo, he was more of a skiller. He would do skills to try and get past defenders.
But again, even then, amazing dribbler as well. Because I think just something to take away while I'm saying all of this again, I still think Ronaldo is the second greatest player of all time, and I don't think the gap is as great as people try to make it, because they try to make it seem like Cristiano Ronaldo is a bum. He's not. Like I said, he's the second greatest of all time, and after that, it's a gap. But then you have Pelé, Maradona. So I really do think it's them two, and then everybody else.
Nice. Okay.
Agree with that?
I mean, still Ronaldo have him at my number one spot. I don't care what you say. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ronaldo
you'll never know.
Yeah.
I mean, you will know, but maybe Robert will never know.
I mean, hopefully we see him in the 2026 World Cup. I mean, also if Messi and Ronaldo are both playing in this next World Cup, they'll have been, I believe, in 6 or 5 World Cup total, which is like the most that any soccer player has ever been in, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, if either of them managed to win it, that'd be insane. And
that's insane. Yeah.
That would, for Messi, that would like, now what the debate is like, this can't even be had. You know what I mean? Now you can still have the conversation. If he wins it, there's no conversation to be had. If Ronaldo wins it, then it's like, oh shit, the conversation is wide open again. You know what I mean?
What if Rafa Marquez laces up one final time for Mexico? And like he comes in for
I think he's already the greatest Mexican soccer player of all time.
I think he's the best.
That would just
he has like 5 World Cup appearances too. Like he laces them up. Mexico goes
4
on
or 5.
Cinderella
something
run.
Like that.
Who knows? I mean, just tied everything you guys said.
A man can literally dream, because that's the only way it would happen.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I don't know. Mexico, they're always a bunch of shitters. I always tell my wife, I will never go for Mexico. They're like the last team I will ever go for. Even though they're in my roots, I am not going for them.
You were just there
today? Yeah, I was just there today.
Yeah.
For me, as long as Ronaldo is still there and Portugal's still playing good, I'm going to have Portugal. And then USA. Probably then like France, Spain, some big other countries. And last, it's going to be Mexico. They're a bunch of shitters, just like the Cowboys. But the Cowboys did win today, I believe. So how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, they beat the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah. But you were saying like your teams. Mine's Mexico. I feel like I need to take an answer sheet test like Miguel to find out who's my second. You know what I mean? Got to go back to the roots. But like this is my second one. It'll probably be Spain as well, because I mean, all of us here are freaking Hispanic.
So. Yeah, true.
No, it's also, funny too, because I went to Robert and I went to the card show about like a month ago, and like I bought like a Yamal card because I'm like, oh, he plays for Spain. That's my team now, so I'll be rooting for them in any international context. But yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
That's funny that you mentioned Lamine Yamal. I know he's been getting a lot of traction because
a lot of hate.
A lot of hate, especially because they're saying now that he's resembling a lot of like how you were saying the Brazilians now. He's out partying all the time. He's missing games, saying that he's injured, which is crazy. I mean, he's only 18 years old. So
this is another good tangent to go on. I think before him missing the more games before that really started, any criticism with him and Vinny, I just think it just came down to race. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
If it was a white player doing that kind of stuff, they would not get criticized to that degree. But because they're darker skinned, if they're seen partying, if they're seen not having that like work only ethic like Cristiano Ronaldo, they're going to be criticized. And at the end of the day, it's only because of the color of their skin.
But
And
I
now
also
recently with
feel
him missing the games, it's more justified. But then, because I mean, like, does it really matter what their personality is or how they carry themselves as long as they're performing? Honestly, I don't think it does. And as long as you're talking about them as a player, you want to talk about them as a person, sure. But then at that point, is like, what are we doing? Are we talking about sports? Or are we talking about quality as a person? Know what I mean? Which I think is two different conversations. Why does who you are as a person matter what you are as a player?
I guess, but
I think it
I-
does for the fact that like when like just a recent example of this is like just happened this year in the NFL season is when the Chiefs lost like the first couple of games, you didn't hear anything from the Chiefs. Like nothing. Like you didn't hear if there was any drama or anything like that. And I think that has to do a lot with like the way they carry themselves as professionals. Like, hey, we've been here before, we've won championships. And I think that's very professional of them. Whereas the Eagles, you know, they were very good and then they dropped 2 games in a row. And like all of a sudden everybody knew all the drama. Like their wide receivers was like, you know, sending out like cryptic tweets. You know, everybody was going off. Like Jalen Hurts was like batting off on them. Saquon's washed. Like there's so many things coming out of that. And I think that has to do with like the way the organization is run. Um, because like if everybody's a professional and everybody's buttoned down, it's easier to get to work and to like perform. Whereas if you have all this noise surrounding your team, I think it just puts a bad spotlight on yourself and on your team. Especially if you do bad or if you had one bad game, which is bound to happen in sports. Like no one has a perfect game. I think it makes it worse if there's baggage there. Kind of like the same thing with like AJ Brown or like, you know, people who had like baggage around them. When shit hit the fan, it causes more stress than it should. When you can just kind of button down. So I think it does. And like obviously he's a kid. He's 18 years old. What were you doing at 18? But like also it's kind of have like the mindset to be like, you know what? Maybe I cool it down. Like I can do something with this. If that is what he wants to do, you know? So it's really up to him.
So again, to make that distinction, I do agree with what you said. Because again, like I said, when it starts actually affecting the play on the field for any sport, now you can have the conversation. But before, if he's out partying, like he like or dating an older woman, like should that be held against him as a player? But
yeah,
once that starts affecting his play, then yes,
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
It's
I agree
unnecessary
with you.
stress.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's kind of like that Allen Iverson thing when he's like, it's just
Like,
practice. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's the same thing there. I mean, yes, it's just practice or it might be just a game or whatever. But I mean, you're one of their star players. You're 18 years old. Not a lot of people get that chance to be playing for a big club. And I think that you should be holding yourself more accountable, you know? You're trying to influence the next generation of footballers. So they're just going to be seeing, you know, this guy, Lamine Yamal, he's like partying and missing out stuff. So, like, set a good example then, you know? So, I don't know.
Or you could just be like Johnny Manziel and be like so good at partying and so good at playing football that you're just like it enhances your mythos.
honestly, yeah, and that's a good thing. Like, if Barcelona or Real Madrid were winning the Champions League and the league every year, nobody would care. Kind of like nobody cares how oh my god, Bill Belichick was running the Patriots and so he started losing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Nobody really cares how you do things as long as you're winning.
that's true.
Once you start losing, people care. So that's, I mean, I think that's what it comes down to.
And which is interesting, which is why I don't know why Lamine Yamal's getting all that hate if Barcelona are if
Oh,
they're playing good.
there it is.
Oh, is that your
Little
Lamine
baby
Yamal
goat,
card?
and then of course the real goat.
Dino, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Ronaldinho.
Serge, I just got to say something
Yes.
for you real quick. How do you feel that Liverpool lost to Man U
Oh my
today
god.
with the GOAT,
Dude,
Harry fucking
Maguire.
Maguire, scoring before Isak
Header.
and
Yep.
the other guy, I forget his name, but scoring before them in the
Bro,
Liverpool stadium.
we started off strong. It's gotten rough the past couple of weeks. We got to get it together or we're not going to win the league again. Like I said, we started off great. We had a couple like rough ones. I was like, okay, like it's expected. I obviously didn't think we were going to like go undefeated. But it's like, okay, we're going off the rails a little bit too much. Let's get back on track before this gets out of hand. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a rough one today. Seeing him lose against Man United for sure.
It's just funny, Miguel, because the guy that I said, Harry Maguire, he's sort of like he's just like a meme of soccer.
He's a walking meme.
He's a walking meme, but somehow, some way, he finds a way to score goals at the last second.
Because
And like,
he plays for United. United fans usually 90% of the time hate him. 90% of the time they hate him. They want him gone. They should do something crazy, and he reminds you that he's not a bad player. He's just not like amazing. You know what I mean? He's solid. He gets the job done. But I guess United fans want him to be like the second coming of uh I can't even think of a defender right now. A freaking Sergio Ramos, for example. You know what I
Kind
mean?
of like Eli Manning. Like you hate him, and then he just somehow pulls it out his ass.
And then he wins 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But at
funny.
least with Maguire, he hasn't won anything. So I guess that's something to hold against him. But I think that's more an indictment on United than it is on Maguire.
On just the player himself, yeah. Which
Yeah.
is just funny, but still, I mean, that's just hilarious.
Yeah. That is funny.
Also, Shohei Ohtani fucking
Oh,
popped
dude.
off.
Great thing you brought up. 3 home runs,
10
10
strikeouts.
strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings.
Never done before.
That's like a top 5 individual game performance of all time, easily. Like easily top 5. You could even start getting to top 3 if you really get into like what are the best one game performances. Easily top 5 though.
That's true. I mean, they're going to the World Series again. Hopefully they win it back to back. What do you think, Sergio? Do you think they win it?
I think they do. I mean, Blue Jays and Mariners are struggling against each other. Like I think I forgot who won the most recent one, so one of them is up 3-2. But I think the Dodgers win it 4-2, like 4 wins, 2 lost games. So they
Whoever
win
it
it in
is.
6, I think. Yeah.
Whoever it is, they're winning.
Whoever it is they go up against, I think they win against them in 6.
We'll have to see. When's it start? This upcoming week, Friday, I think, or Sunday. One of the starts
I'm
on
not
the
sure the
weekend.
day.
I know it starts on the weekend. I'll actually
Mariners
be
are
out
from
in
Seattle, right? Seattle Mariners. Seattle Mariners.
That's what I'm saying. I actually don't know if either the Mariners or Blue Jays already advanced.
Oh, I'm saying that they're from
No,
Seattle.
they're playing
Where
right
they're
now.
from.
They're playing right now. The Mariners are up 3-2 in the series.
Oh shit.
And actually, the Mariners are the only team to never make a World Series.
Wow.
And that will be the only team ever to not make a World Series. So this would be the first one that they win.
Unless they make history right here tonight.
And Blue Jays is your team, Miguel, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah. I had a
I like
friend.
the Blue
Also, you're
Jays
kind
too.
of like more lackadaisical in
Yeah,
passing team.
it's by association. I had a classmate of mine from like middle school who played for them. That's like
Oh,
the
that's cool.
only reason. Yeah.
Hey, good enough.
I also like the Tigers because I like their
Cincinnati.
vibe.
Wait.
Tigers is a cool team. Detroit Tigers.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, I had like a 2004 like MLB game just randomly like on Xbox, like the original console.
It's funny because when Miguel Cabrera was in his prime, they were good. Then they were just absolutely horrible. They're kind of good again, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even kind of good. They're good again.
Yeah, so maybe that team for like no reason other than like I played them when I was like 4 years old. But yeah, it's cool. But yeah, Blue Jays I would say are my team. Them are the Diamondbacks just because of proximity.
Okay.
D-backs.
So I'm looking at our time, which is
Yeah, I know.
hilarious to see.
Which was
We basically, I said
this
it was
was
going to
just
be a mini
a-
topic. It became our topic.
became a sports heavy podcast
Today.
episode, which I'm okay with.
I think it was a long overdue main topic that had to be had.
I think so. But I mean, it felt good. It was just like a talk with the boys, you know? So I don't hate it. But however, I don't know how we decide a winner. I think do we just let a wheel randomly pick?
But one thing we're supposed to do.
I think
is
this
get
could
to
be
a
like an off
topic.
week. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It
this
can
will
be
be a
like
bonus episode.
Yeah, a bonus episode. And again, what a better topic to have as a bonus episode than Ronaldo versus Messi. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So next episode, we'll get back to it. Back on track.
That's hilarious.
I guess lastly, I just want to say I ended up watching The Hateful Eight this past week. I actually really enjoyed it.
Best Tarantino movie.
For me, it's gonna be Django. Django's gonna be in my top Tarantino film, and then I think it's gonna be the Kill Bill series, and then it'll be Hateful Eight, and then I have Inglourious Bastards.
I will recommend this though. Maybe rewatch it in a year or two. Better on a rewatch because now you know what to look for. Trust me.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed it a lot more on a rewatch.
Okay, I'll have to do that then. And then I also watched 28 Days Later, which I didn't really like. The one with
That's the
Cillian
original one,
Murphy.
right?
Yeah, the original one. Because I heard I think it just had a lot of overhype. I always hear that it was a good like zombie movie, but I don't know. For me, it missed the mark. I don't know if you guys had seen that one before.
I
I haven't
haven't.
seen either of
No,
them.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I would probably recommend it to watch once, but after that, it's like, kind of
I mean, if you're
boring.
looking for zombie movies, watch World War Z.
That one's a
Brad
good
Pitt.
one. Very
That
good
one's a
Yeah.
good
movie.
one
It reminds me of Left 4 Dead for some reason.
for sure.
Probably the
Obviously,
worst
Walking
type of
Dead,
zombies. I think.
Honestly.
running zombies.
Yeah, definitely the worst. Gotta be the
Yeah.
worst.
Alrighty then, lads. I guess that'll be it for today's bonus episode. So
Which I'm fine
next
with.
week, yeah. Next week, I guess I'll return back as your host, so that way I can get into the main topic, which was not done today.
Would
But
you maybe give us a sneak peek, or do you want to just still keep it a
sneak
surprise?
peek, I'll keep it. It's gonna be spooky vibes. You know, I've been wanting to do a Halloween themed episode
Little
since
Halloween
we
theme.
are in October, so it'll be. I'll tell you this: it'll be a second parter again. So I'm going for another second parter, which I didn't intentionally tend to do.
If it's to guess the items, bro,
No,
that's
no,
like my
that
weakness,
would be
man.
our third episode. That would be a third time doing that.
Third
But
party.
no,
Oh man,
this one is one that Sergio has done before. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so you guys will just have to tune in until next week to see what we talk about. Hopefully, we don't get derailed as much as today, but I mean, still fun. And as always, you guys can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You guys have been showing us a lot of love on our YouTube shorts and not so much on our TikTok. What's going on there? So hopefully you guys can bring the love up a little bit more over there. But yeah, thank you
definitely
guys
drop
for
those comments because we love reading them.
yeah, we
We'll
love
respond to
interacting with
them.
you guys. We'll respond
Yeah.
exactly. So we
They
love
make
that
us laugh.
interaction with you guys. Yeah, some
Yeah,
of you
even
guys.
if you guys are like making fun of us, disagreeing or agreeing, we'd love to see it all.
Yeah, especially this one. This one we might get a lot of interaction, see where the Messi and Ronaldo stands are. So maybe even find a little bit of Dino fans for Mikey. He's the
Hey.
outlier here. So we'll see.
I'm cool with
But
it.
hopefully, yeah. But hopefully you guys stuck around until the end of the episode and you guys hopefully liked this format a little bit better. I mean, I know it's something different, something that we haven't done before, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Podcast out.
Bye-bye.